Can you see the picture of some plants and animals in this? In this, the second one, the turtle, third one, shark, and fifth one, lotus, and the sixth one, shellfish. They have some peculiarity. What are they? These are the plants and animals that we would see in water body. These are only some examples, children. What about the other? The other plants and animals have systems and organs that that they are not suitable for living in water. Now let's see this conversation, children, to make it more clear. A boy and a woman are sitting in one boat, and two men are standing in other boat with something green in color. They are taking out from water. That time this boy got it out and asking his mother, Mama, which plants are those and why are they being removed? Then Mama is replying, Kabir, those are weeds. They are being removed because they are harmful to plants that live in water. That time this boy is getting doubt. Why? From where these plants came? That too from inside water? He got a doubt. He was thinking. Then immediately he asked, how can plants live underwater? Then Mama is replying, while most plants grow on land, many others can grow in water also. Because this boy might have seen only plants floating on water, but not under the water. So he got such a doubt and he asked his mother and asked his mother to clear it. What are they? So she made him clear that there are some plants which live that can grow in water. They may be of different types. So she made it clear that there are some plants that live. In the conversation, you thought that plants that are adapted to live in water. So, what are the plants that are adapted to live in water called? They are called as aquatic plants. Plants that are adapted to live in water are called aquatic plants. Aquatic means that it is related to water. You might have learned it in previous classes. Where they are found? They are found in seas, oceans, rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds. So, how many types are there? Aquatic plants are of four types: free floating plants, rooted floating plants, submerged plants, and emergent plants. Four types are there. So, let us discuss one by one. What are free floating plants? Plants that float freely in water or on the surface of water are called free floating plants. They float freely in water. That is, we can see on the surface of water, free floating plants. How they can float freely? Why they are able to float freely? Let us see. They are small and the entire plant, including the roots, floats on the water surface. So generally we cannot see the roots on the water. Here, since they are small and the entire plant, including the roots, float on the water surface. How? What is making them to float? The presence of spongy air-filled parts makes them light and helps them to float easily. So air-filled parts makes them light and helps them to float easily. Their roots are not fixed to the soil and can absorb all nutrients from water. Soil, it is not fixed to the soil. Okay, that's why they are able to be on the surface. They are mostly found in ponds, lakes where the water remains stagnant. Where? In ponds, lakes, and the two where the water remains stagnant. They also provide shade to animals living in water. How they are providing shelter, that is shade to the animals from the hot sun? These leaves are fully covered, no? So the organisms which are under this, they will be getting protected from hot sun. So some examples are duckweed, water lettuce, and water hyacinth. We can see the picture of this. The second one is rooted floating plants. What are these rooted floating plants? Floating plants whose roots are fixed to the bottom of the water body are called rooted floating plants. From the name itself, we can get floating. They will be also floating, but their roots are fixed to the bottom of the water body, up to the bottom of the water, are called rooted floating plants. These plants, they have long, light, hollow stems and broad floating leaves. They will be having long, but it is not heavy, light, hollow stems. Long stems, light and hollow stems, and they are broad floating leaves. Leaves will be very broad. The stems keep the leaves and the flowers afloat. Since they are light, the stems keep the leaves and flowers afloat. Clear? The leaves of such plants provide a nesting place for small birds. Since the leaves are broad, the leaves provide a nesting place for small birds. Example, lotus and water lily. They are the examples of rooted floating plants. They have broad leaves. We can see the lotus plant. The picture of lotus plant, how it is, it will be very clear. The specialty here is the roots are fixed. Rooted floating plants, roots are fixed to the bottom of the water body, and their leaves are broad and they have long, light, hollow stems. These stems help the some birds for making them as a nest place. That means this give them nesting place. They can stand on that. The stems keep the leaves and flowers afloat. The leaves of such plants provide a nesting place for small birds. Third one, submerged plants. What are submerged plants? Plants that grow underwater are called submerged plants. That grow underwater are called submerged plants. Their roots are fixed in the soil. Here also the roots are fixed. But they have the shape of the leaves is different. They have narrow needle-like leaves that allow the water currents to flow through them without causing damage to the leaves. They have narrow needle-like leaves. What help do they do? They allow the water currents to flow through them without causing damage to the leaves. That is the specialty here. And one more thing, they absorb carbon dioxide and keep the water clean. Specialty. They absorb carbon dioxide and keep the water clean. Here, the roots are fixed, needle shaped, narrow needle like leaves, and they allow the water currents to flow through them, and they absorb carbon dioxide and keep the water clean. Some of the examples of submerged plants are Hydrilla, Vallisneria. We could tell it as tape grass also. Vallisneria, tape grass. We can see the pictures of this. Lastly, it is emergent plants. What are emergent plants? Emergent means emergent aquatic plants grow along the banks of ponds or lakes or in shallow and marshy areas. They have long, narrow leaves. Here also the leaves are long, narrow, and that extend out of the water while the lower part of these plants remains underwater. Lower part remains underwater and the long narrow leaves that extend out of the water. The narrow leaves, what help they do? The narrow leaves help them to bend easily and prevent them from breaking when there is strong wind or waves. If there is a strong wind or waves, these narrow leaves help them to bend easily. So what are the examples? Examples are bulrush and arum lily. Clear? Then after seeing all these four plants, aquatic plants, from this we can see a boy was asking, no, mother said, what are these? These are these aquatic plants that grow rapidly and often cover the surface of water bodies. Rapidly and cover the surface of water, thus preventing sunlight from reaching the plants underwater. These weeds absorb nutrients from water and are also a major cause of and foul smell in water bodies. Therefore, it is necessary to check and control their growth.